What's going on, family? Man, sorry for being late, but shit, better late than never. Um, let's get to it, man. Let's just hop into it, man. Look. Check this out, man. Check this out. Look. This nigga Shakur Stevenson ducked. He ducked not Aerosmith. He ducked motherfucking Devin Haney, bro. It is all good. I'm here to let you know it is all good. We understand why. And he's just gonna have to hold that one. You say you good? Hey, shout out to everybody in the chat, man. I was waiting, man. My bad. I was on the phone with my pops. We were talking about boxing, actually, man. We talk about a lot of shit, dude. Like, this is a good year for boxing, man. We could have had another great fight at lightweight, but one man felt like he was worth a little bit more. So let's get into it, man. Shakur Stevenson, I'm pretty sure y'all know by now. Shakur Stevenson, he demanded a Devin Haney fight immediately after the Lomachenko W. He called for it. He said, man, sign the contract. I want you. I used to get the best of Devin in sparring all the time. You know what I'm saying? Devin is easy work. Lomachenko really won the fight. All that mess. That's what he was saying. Yo, that's what he was saying. And I'm like, okay, cool. He wants to fight, even though Devin already stated that he's having a hard time making this weight and he wants to move to a different weight class. Um, he said, you know what, I'm gonna put my plans to the side and I'll fuck around and fight you. So if you want to fight me at my last fight at 135, even though I've been stretching it here, if you want to fight me my last fight here, you're gonna have to take the mandatory split of 25%. And Shakur Stevenson responded by saying, "No, no, little bruh. I'm bigger than that. I don't want 25%." So there you have it, guys. Like it's that simple. Like it's not even that complex. Yeah, hold on one second. Hold on one second. Damn, man. Hold on. It said motherfuckers mad at me because they goat snitch on himself trying to be a smart ass. Oh man, let's talk about that shit. Look. So my good brother D Hive, man, he's been going a little viral on social media as of late because Shakur Stevenson responded to his tweet. And let's go ahead and take a look at that read. Dang, it's been so much to even keep up with. Like, but let's get into it. So here it is. My good brother D Hive said, hold on, no. Damn, where the fuck is that shit at, man? My bad, y'all. So what's good, brother? How can we donate to your channel? Man, hit the Cash App at hit the Cash App $ Artman the Great. Hold on, let me put that in the chat. Cash App $Artman the Great. Oh shit, that shit almost knocked my shit out. But yeah, anyways, I'm looking for that tweet right now. Y'all gotta give me a second. I got a lot of shit going on. But yeah, Cash App Artman the Great $. Anyways, look. So we're just looking at the brother D Hive's interaction with Shakur Stevenson. And I'm trying to pull that motherfucker up now. It's just so much. And Shakur, he's really shooting himself in the foot trying to combat this tweet. Hold on. So my good brother D Hive. Let me show everybody the tweet too. Give me 1 second, y'all. Let me show y'all the tweet. So my good brother D Hive says, he says, Shakur Stevenson, look at that. Shakur Stevenson, he was at the Big Baby fight, but he says, a contender that believes he should be the A side, sitting undisputed champion. Oh, yeah, yeah. A contender that believes he should be the A side to a sitting undisputed champion. I've been told y'all about this dude, and y'all said I was a hater. Oh, man, that shit really felt, it rubbed Shakur Stevenson the wrong way because he said, get off my nuts. I don't think I'm the A side. I just know my worth. And 25%, and it didn't turn the fight down either. That was supposed to be the first offer. I haven't heard nothing else since. So he said he knows his worth and 25% is not it. And he hasn't received anything after. I mean, the offer was 25%, nigga. If he didn't like it, counter it. Counter it. But here we are in the comment section, folks saying if you turn down 25%, then you're supposed to send them a counter offer, asking for what you want. You're full of shit. Say, little bro, you can keep fighting them Asians in top ranked specials, getting them gift stoppages. When you're ready to fight a pound for pound fighter, call Devin Haney. Everybody island. Devin took about the same thing to prove he's great and became the A side though. Stop barking, bite down, take the split, and proof your business or prove your greatness or be quiet. Say it wouldn't be on you to send a counter offer as opposed waiting for them to send you another one. Said make it happen. If you negotiate, you can be, but you need this fight. Take any offer, beat the guy, and start calling shots. So yeah, man, like folks just coming at him and like, dude, check it out. Like, we like you, Shakur Stevenson, but one, you're not the A side against Devin Haney. Two, 25% for all four belts in a Devin Haney fight is worth it because two things. It's worth it. One, because you said you can beat this guy easy and you got the best of him every time. So that should be a no brainer. And two, if you win, you get to call the shots after. You can dictate. You can do all that. The reason why Devin Haney's in this position to talk how he's talking now is because he did that. He did that. He's the guy who took the fucking crappy deal to fight Cambosis. My dude Xavier Martinez says, I ain't mad at Shakur trying to get more money, but at the same time, you gotta give a little to get what you want. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? You gotta give it. You gotta give it up, man. And I like Shakur, but we gotta call it how it is, man. The guy simply does not feel like the risk is worth the reward at this point. He doesn't. And it's not to say that, oh, he's scared of Devin. He could be, but most likely, if he, to me, what it looks like Devin, like Shakur Stevenson knows that Devin Haney is not some easy walk in the park. He don't consider Devin Haney what Devin Haney considered Cambosis, which is a guy that you can easily beat and take the belt no matter what the stipulations are. Shakur Stevenson knows that in this situation, if he goes into this fight and lose, one, there's most likely not going to be a rematch, and two, everything that you said, everything building you up to this very point will be ended at that very moment because you talked your way into a fucking ass whipping or talk your way into an L. So he's looking at it like, man, I'm not about to put myself in a position where I can lose and only get 25% of how much the pot is going to be. And speaking of pot, people are acting like When you explain to Shakur fans like, yo, 25% in the Devin Haney fight is not really that bad if you think about it. Because what if the pot is 10 million or 15 million? So you telling me he's gonna get about 2 million, 3 million? That's not bad. Dude. And people are saying, oh, well, he deserves more because he's a former champion and this, and that. He's calling to fight Devin Haney at 135. He's coming to the fight as a contender, not a champion. And if you want to be technical, he's coming into the fight as a champion that was stripped of his belt. So what are we saying here? It's not about fairness and what he deserves and this, and that. You don't even deserve an opportunity to fight for undisputed right now. Let's be real. You only have one fight in at 135. Wait, know your worth, bro. The highest payday was 500K versus Valder, so 25% may be more than he's ever earned. And that brings us to this tweet here from Devin Haney. Devin the Dream Haney. Devin Haney said 25% is more money that you will make than your last 3 fights if you accept this offer. 25% against Devin Haney. And we're looking at you getting more than what you got in your last 3 fights combined. And you telling me, nah, it's not worth the risk. Fuck that. And then my response to all that is, okay, cool. So if you don't fight Devin Haney for all the belts, you must be fighting somebody much better in a better opportunity where you're getting way more pay. It has to be. That's the only way it can make sense, right? But no, you go in there and see who he may be fighting next. This guy is telling his fans what y'all think about a Linares fight. Oh my God. How the hell can his fans, Shakur Stevenson fans, go on record and say Devin Haney has a garbage resume and this, and that? But here you are trying to negotiate a fight with Linares. And to be honest, I feel like that's a good fight. But his fans didn't already shit on Devin Haney so damn much. If he fights Linares, he gonna look crazy. See what I'm talking about? Like sometimes y'all gotta hold y'all tongue, man, and just keep it 100. But I got my good brother Just Doing here, man. What's going on, brother?
What's good with it, bro? See,
Man, I'm so glad. I'm so glad that you're here, man. Because
mhm.
there's so much stuff that you can say on Twitter, and sometimes me on Instagram, and sometimes it can get misconstrued and this and that. So I'm
Yeah,
glad that I got you on the show so we can
that's
have
that's why I
a
came up
real
here,
boxing conversation.
right? Because I know you, just your tone. You like to have a conversation, so it's good that you know what I mean. Some people want to argue the boxing; they don't want to talk it. I don't
Yeah,
like
they
to
want to
argue with
argue
people,
and
but
bring up personal shit.
yeah,
I'm not with all
but
that. Let's
right,
let's talk. Let's
the
talk
starters.
boxing.
Like I'm a real supporter of his. Like the reason I don't call myself a fan because fans feel like they got to protect and argue everything, and I just don't feel like I carry it like that. So for starters, like I get it that 25%, like in a sense, man, me as a supporter of his, I just wish he'd be like, you know what, I take it and just leave no doubt, right? That's the me wanting to see the fight. That's the supporter in me. If it was up to me, I wish he'd just do it and just leave no doubt. Because when you say no, after you sent them bottle service, and we know the track record with them, right? You open you subject yourself to this criticism when you don't say yeah, right? So I'm aware of that as a supporter of his. So it's like I don't have an argument for him. It's that's what people don't realize. You don't have to argue for him, but you can have a discussion around this. So my thing is, I get it. Like you take what I'm giving you. I'm the A side, and Shakur knows it himself. He said it. I'm not the A side, but I feel like, all right, if we this is what it is. It's 25% that's out there, right? We know that he's saying no to that, right? Not
Yeah.
no to the fight, no to 25%, right? is it out of the realm of possibility for them to negotiate more than 25%, or is it just a take it or leave it? And the reason I say that is because I understand you saying you took a crappy deal with Cambosis, right? But you didn't take that kind of deal that you offering him. And you know he's a much better fighter than Cambosis, if we all being honest. We know what we're seeing. And I get it, you lost the belts on the scale, but this is a two-division former unified champion. You don't think you deserve to at least sit at the table and negotiate, be willing to negotiate past 25%? That's all I'm saying. Like, I think a lot of people just want to have it their way. Whatever I say, that's the way it got to go. I'm a real logical person. Like, I hear everybody with the 25%. See, people don't know how to have a conversation. I do. You acknowledge, I get it. He got the, he got the leverage. Shakur don't. I get it. I get it. But is it out the realm of possibility? Is it not logical for them to at least sit down and try to negotiate something past? Because he's saying no to this, and I don't think he's gonna say yeah to it, right? So what do
Yeah.
you do? You keep having the same conversation in circles. You move to the next order of business. That sounds logical. What do? Counter offer, or you sit down and you try to negotiate something closer to what you want. Now, I don't feel like you should get 50-50 either. I ain't saying that. I'm definitely not saying that. But what I'm saying is you didn't have to take 25% Ambosis. I get it. You took the sacrifice, but at least, and I wouldn't have no problem, at least offer him what they offered you. That's what I'm saying. I don't think that's crazy to say, but I get people that's like, nah, you take what we give you. You get what I'm saying? I understand
Yeah,
that
I
because you don't have
totally
the leverage.
understand it.
But what do
And
you do? You get what I'm saying, bro? What do
I
you do
trust
next?
I understand it, but then this is another argument. I
Mhm.
Devin Haney really don't have to offer him a motherfucking thing. And the reason why is because Shakur was never in Devin Haney's plan. His plan was to stay at 135 to fight against Javante Davis, or
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
move up to a weight class that's comfortable to him, which is 140. So now you're asking Devin Haney to go out of his way to make a fight with you and throw you a bone for all four belts when he didn't get that type of opportunity. You already came at the man disrespecting him, and come on the biggest night of his life and say, "Oh, you didn't win this fight." It's like, my guy, like,
I don't know why.
are you expecting some type of sympathy
I don't know
from
why
Devin Haney?
people took that so personal, and that's another thing I don't get with this situation. Why is he looked at as a bad guy for doing what Devin Haney said out his mouth he's supposed to do? I don't understand how that's a problem. Haney himself said what he's doing, he's supposed to be doing it. If he wasn't, he said he'd be calling him a duck. He said that straight out his mouth. He said Shakur calling him out makes him happy. He
That-
embraces that. He literally said it. So it's like,
yeah, I know.
and again, I get
I've
you,
heard
but
it.
the
I've heard it.
plans change when he gets to 35. I ain't saying his plan has to change all of a sudden, but you could certainly understand why Shakur would be gunning for the guy that says the division goes through him. You get him? He's supposed to go for the guy. I thought
That's
so.
true.
Like
That
he's
that is
supposed
a
to.
100% true. And now the
But
guy
again,
said, "You know what? I am the guy. So here's the deal that is presented to you.
and that's
If you
why
do
I
not
say
like it,
I get it.
kick
So it's like
rocks."
if it's take it or leave it, then they gonna just have to run with Shakur ducked them. But I just don't think that's realistic. That's no business goes that way. You get what I'm saying? And the reason when I was bringing up JoJo Diaz, I'm glad I'm up here. So I know it sounds crazy. Let me make it make some type of sense. The
Go ahead.
reason I said that is for the people that keep making the argument, what has he done at 135? Now I get he didn't have all the belts when he fought JoJo, but I'm just making a point. He still negotiated with him. They were going negotiating literally. So I'm saying like you're not willing to give him like nothing. Like he's not saying give it to him, but you're not you it's take it. If it's take it or leave it, then we definitely ain't getting no fight. But I'm just of the mindset that some type of negotiation could take place. I don't think that's Devin Haney
Yeah,
going out of his way.
and that's the thing, like, that I brought it up, that he only had one belt at the time, because we have to bring it up, man. The circumstances definitely change. After that, he put himself in a situation where he had to fight twice
And
in
even
Australia
that was a
for all
70-30
four
split.
belts. It's like
You get what I'm saying?
it's
I'm
basically you asking
so,
Devin
so
Haney to short to throw Shakur Stevenson a
Nah, so
bone.
let me ask you this. Like, no, I'm just saying for me, that's one way to look at it. I can't tell nobody how to look at it. For me, I'm looking at it when I see 25% and I know you got 70-30 split. I'm just going off what I know these fans were saying. When that first initially was out there, even Haney himself, he said that was a slave deal, right? 70-30 was a slave deal. Why would you turn around offer even less than what you call the slave deal and expect somebody to take it? Like, and again, the risk on both sides is definitely at a different level than a Cambosis. So I'm just saying, I have the conversation because I'm not gonna tell you wrong for saying he should take the 25, right? Because I get it. You're not in the plan, so it's like, yeah, take it or leave it. But it's like, is that the end of the discussion, or do everything just fall and people cool with saying duck? Or are you willing to really negotiate and prove that he don't want to fight? Because I'm saying not give him everything, but at least start where you started from with the 30%. I don't see why that's crazy. Like the fact that people making that sound like it's not logical tells me that's the intent. You don't want to fight as much as you're saying right now. Because I'm like, I just don't think it's crazy to negotiate past 25%, or at least attempt to do business past this point. Because how else is a fight gonna get made? You know what I'm saying?
But
Like,
you do understand where Devin Haney is coming from. Like, dude, if you want me to stay at 135, which is already been known, it's public documentation that he already said that, man, this weight is hard for me.
mm-hmm.
You want me to stay to fight you, who coming into this fight with no belts. You want me to stay for you, and you don't want me to have a even bigger pot, some type of incentive to stay here.
And I get you. I get you. That's why I said I'm not even arguing 60-40. Like I heard people making a good argument that, it'd be something closer to that, or it should be. I'm not even going there. I'm just saying don't give a guy the absolute damn lowest and then and say that based off that determines you not wanting or wanting to fight because I took less
The,
money.
the the reason why it
It's just
does
not the
is
same. It's not the
because
same
you
situation.
begged for this opportunity.
And again, I don't think it's begging. I think he said it out his mouth. Two fighters he would stay at 35 for. He said Tank and Shakur. He said that. And it's like the only way Shakur gets to fight you is if he's lowballed in the situation or he treated like less than. That damn well when we look at them dudes in terms of skill level and talent, they're equal to. It's not the same with Cambosis. I guess none of that stuff matters. And I feel like people just abandon
But
all
here's the
logic and make
thing,
an argument
it
that he should
does
take
matter because
25%.
it's like saying that, well, because I like this guy's skill set and this guy's coming from our culture, well, we should just jump him above the guys who actually got in the ring and put themselves in the position to be fighting this guy.
What did Loma do to put himself in position and fight Devin Haney respectfully? Because
Res-
to what's out there, they said he fought 3 tune-ups in a row.
Respectfully, what he did to get that opportunity is not a goddamn thing. Devin didn't have to give him that fight. He didn't. But if you want to be 1,000% truthful, Lomachenko does have a better argument to get a higher percentage against Devin Haney because what he has done in the weight class that he is challenging Devin Haney for, the belts for,
I
which is
don't think I
135.
mean, he
It's like
beat who at
it's
35?
like back with Loma. It's like
It- it's like it's really what
the
did he
stuff
have
that he
to
did in
offer
the
us?
hold on 1 second. It's like you're mentioning all the stuff he did in the past and say because he did this at a lower weight class, he deserves this opportunity now, even though he didn't leave that weight class in an honorable way. He left that weight class in a dishonorable way. So it's like, man, it's like how what are we talking about here?
I
You should
mean,
actually be
I think what I'm
thankful that
saying.
you are actually getting some type of percentage, something. Because now, if Devin Haney turned around and said, you know what, I don't even have to fight this guy. I'm just gonna move up and fight Regis Program or whatever. Would Devin Haney be considered the bad guy?
I mean, I'm a realist. For me, no, but I just know this. Everything can be true at the same time. I'm hearing people giving him credit for saying he's fighting Regis next. Now I'm hearing people giving him credit for saying he got Shakur. He put Shakur in a situation and call his bluff. He's ducking him. Now I'm hearing people say he's fighting Tank Davis next. Everything can be true. I just don't know. In this situation, I don't think nothing I said is crazy. I acknowledged yeah, I wish he would just take the 25%, but it got to be a conversation after that. If you want some take it or leave it, then people just gonna have to make it at what you want. And I
Yeah,
just
I
feel
I
like
totally
you
understand
you
that, but
you giving him
my
treatment that
only argument is it really doesn't have to be no negotiation. Negotiation is either take what I'm presenting to you, or I'm just gonna move
and
on
again,
else.
to me, that to me, it shouldn't have to be that kind of situation for a fight to be made. Loma wasn't treated that way. And again, what did he do at 35? What did he truly have to offer Devin Haney at 35? He had nothing. Again, Devin Haney had all the belts. And they were saying this guy fought 3 tune-ups in a row, coming off a war and not looking his best again. If, in my opinion, I feel like a Shakur Stevenson, undefeated, being a multi-division champion, former unified champion with no losses, silver medal, is better than a guy with 2 gold medals with multiple losses that got to the same weight class. Now, he fought some people, but he still had nothing to offer. You get what I'm saying? He didn't beat nobody that he wasn't supposed to beat. So it's like, I just don't know. I
It
feel like,
it's like saying Hector Garcia should have got 50% or 40% against Javante Davis because he was a champion in the previous weight class.
I mean, that I think that's totally different. Again, I'm not putting a real percent on it. I'm just saying, like, again, the fact that nobody is willing to acknowledge you're asking him to take something that you yourself didn't take. You didn't do it. Why are you asking him to take less and people are not willing to acknowledge that?
So wait, wait,
At
wait, wait,
least,
wait, wait.
at
So
least say he
what
playing
are
them
we
better. You know what I mean?
what are we saying here? Are you saying that the deal presented to Shakur Stevenson is worse than the deal that was presented to Devin Haney?
Yes.
Is that what we're
Yes, it
saying
is.
here? Because
Absolutely.
I wholeheartedly disagree. You're
20,
telling me to
25.
fight in
What
Vegas
is bigger? 35.
hold on 1 second. To fight in Vegas, right? Not Australia, one time for 25% is worse than traveling to
Absolutely.
Australia two times, even though you won the first
Absolutely.
fight?
Absolutely.
Absolutely not.
It's
That's
less
and that's why
money.
I disagree. I
It's
disagree.
30.
That's not
It's
even.
30
It's
bigger
not
than
this,
25.
bro. The fact Devin Haney's pops couldn't even come to the country until the last minute.
I get
Couldn't
all
even
of that
train there, and
stuff,
you
but
telling me that that is
that has nothing
equivalent,
to do with
bro?
giving
I'm
somebody the bare minimum and
just
expecting
do,
a fight to be
just do.
made.
I respect
You
you, brother,
you,
but
you
that is
didn't
nowhere. That's not even
yo
equivalent
that
at
you're
all.
oh my God. So you're telling me again, I'm just gonna go off of this. It's this not an argument for me.
No, no, it's
It's
not.
it's
Or
this
we just
simple.
chopping it up. We
All
just
right,
chopping it
you
up.
you feel like 25%. If it's take it or leave it, there's really nothing to say after that for me. If it's take it or leave it, cool. But what I'm saying is not unrealistic. Me saying, yo, negotiate something, you're asking him to take a percentage that you yourself didn't take. If you were serious about the fight, in my opinion, you would at least start it with the
And
70-30 that you would
and
give.
that's the argument
That's not a
right there.
lot.
The argument right there is when
Terrible.
you go when you say you're taking something that you wouldn't take. The man just fought Kambosos back to back twice and took the
Bro,
short
are you
end of
not
the
hearing me?
stick.
Art man,
My
bro,
God, what do we?
it was a
And
30,
then
it
look,
was a
and then look,
70
look,
30
look, and then
split,
here's the thing, just do.
not
Here's the
75
thing, just do.
25. Why are you
Here's the
not?
thing, just do. Devin Haney came into the equation with a belt. Shakur Stevenson is coming into the equation with nothing, nothing,
Man, I mean,
nothing,
that's
bro.
again, why didn't Loma get treated this way? Because he came into the same equation with nothing like Shakur Stevenson. Why wasn't he treated this way? That's all I'm saying. I'm very logical. I hear you, but why didn't he do this to Lomachenko? No, he did not take 21%. Please go look it up.
Yeah,
Please, we
hold
were
on.
just talking about that. Please go look it up, bro. He did not take 21%. I promise you he didn't. I would never put that on him. He did not take 21%. He did not do
I
that.
get your argument
If he
why he
took
didn't offer
21%, I wouldn't even be
Lomachenko,
up here right now.
but then again, that goes into what I've said. Lomachenko was more proven at 135 than Shakur Stevenson. Just because Shakur Stevenson did what he did in the lower weight class does not mean he was more proven at 135 than Lomachenko. You can't say that.
I don't I
One,
really
come on,
I
bro.
get that, but
One fight at
he
135, and you're telling me
he
that's equivalent to what
he beat
Lomachenko did at 135?
he beat people that he was supposed to beat. That's
I'm
not
just
really a
saying.
leg to stand
Is
on.
that
Like
just
that,
do?
what you're saying is the reason he was treated this way is because of what he accomplished. I
At
disagree. And
135.
again, I mean, I don't disagree. It is what it is. Look, for me, if you can't negotiate past 25%, it is what it is. Y'all not gonna fight. It's just that simple. You're not. But again,
But ask yourself this: Boots Ennis, if Terrence Crawford or Earl Spence Winter, you know, offer him 25%, even though they already let it be known that after this fight they want to move up. Are you telling me that 25% Boots Ennis wouldn't take that fight right now?
I mean, you could say yeah, he would. You could say no, he would. I don't know what Boots would do. I would like to say he would, but I
But
mean
just
that
public opinion, folks, as hungry as Boots Ennis is, he would take it. It's like to me, in my opinion, it feels like Shakur Stevenson's been listening to his fans and other guys online for so long that he feels
nah,
that he is just underneath accomplished as Devin Haney, and he deserves 40% to 50%.
I don't know
And I
who
feel like
making that argument.
that's a wrong mentality to go
Yeah,
into
but I don't
because
know who
he
making that
doesn't have
argument, bro.
he doesn't have the hunger that
I don't
Devin
know who.
Haney has.
I don't know who making that. I don't know who making that argument, but I know it's a lot of smoke and mirrors. I never once even said he's deserved 50, 40%. I just said
No, I'm not saying you
at least,
specifically.
at least give him the 70-30 split that you had to take with Cambosis. And again, by
So
giving
you're
him
saying
listen,
30, so you're
by
saying
giving him
5%
20,
more,
by
5%
giving him
more is worth it?
by giving him 25% by 5% less, that to me shows intent. At least treat him the way you were treated in your worst deal. Don't treat him even worse than something
But
that you called a
why?
slave
Why
deal.
does he don't owe Shakur a motherfucking
It's not
thing?
about owing.
That's
Then
the thing. He
again,
doesn't owe him. It's like,
but it's
man, come
still
on, bro.
business, and that's not good
It's
business.
like the
Let's
art.
be real.
The
That's not.
argument is, come on, bro.
It's
Give
no,
Shakur
it's
a
not
little
an
bit more.
argument. It's the
Why?
listen. I acknowledge this. What do you want? He say no to 25. So is the conversation over? Because again, it's like it's gonna be redundant. What do you do after that point, business wise? Because this is boxing, it's still a business. He said no to the first offer. Everybody know you don't say yeah to the first offer, but all business logic go out the window for this one, and it's either take it or leave it. I don't understand.
So what about when Devin Haney says that 25% against me will be more money that you received in your
How do
last
he
three
know that?
fights?
How he would have to know exactly what Shakur got, what Shakur made, and it's not like he got some crazy drawing power. What does he have to back that up besides what he think? Because he going off of something he think. You don't know what Shakur getting paid. You don't know what that man getting paid.
Are
That's
you
a
sure it's something that he just think?
you
Because
don't have the drawing power to
hold on,
pull
one
out
second,
10
just do.
dates.
Are you sure it's something that he just thinks, or is it something that was brought to his attention by the
So it's
person that's
something
actually
that he
drawing up
thinks.
the contract,
It's
which is
something that
top
he,
rank,
in
and
my
that's what
opinion,
makes
it's
it
something
worse.
that he
And
thinks.
just do, and that's what makes it worse on Shakur's end, is because it's not Devin Haney who's drawing up these contracts. It's Top Rank who is drawing up the contracts. So Top Rank is trying to say, hey man,
I
this is
mean, look,
the
at the end of
25%
the
will go
day,
to you, and the rest of the pot will go to Devin Haney.
at the end of the day, I think people just gonna abandon logic when it comes to this situation because I'm going to acknowledge what most people want when they're trying to argue. Because again, I'm not arguing. I'm saying, cool, I get it, take it or leave it. But if that's the conversation, then it's pretty much over. But if you
Yeah,
really
it's like your conversation is, can we get some fairness, please?
Nah, it's not
Why?
about fairness. It's about treat the man like something he worth. You pretty much, again, if you can't acknowledge that that man is worth more than 25%, because, and again, it's just opinion. So
Devin
you don't
Haney
think
was worth more to
you don't
25
think so?
more. He's worth more to 25 and 30. So my argument is why Devin Haney got to do it, but it's beneath Shakur Stevenson to do it. Is it because online they say he beats everybody? I don't get it.
Again, man, online they say Devin Haney beat everybody.
Nah, that's not what they say. They say
Who don't they say he
online they
beat?
say Devin Haney lose to everybody.
Who don't they say he beat?
They say he don't beat
I
Regis.
hear,
Yeah,
man. I've
they
been
say
hearing
he don't beat he
since the
not gonna
last
beat
fight.
Loma.
Since the last fight, they say he'd just walk through Regis. They
They
say
say
he'd
he
just
wasn't gonna
outbox
beat
him easy.
JoJo Diaz. They even Jeff Mayweather's own record saying that man ain't gonna lose. He ain't gonna win the Cambosis.
Again, Rome, like I feel you, 70-30 is standard. Like if I'm being heard correctly, let me just say this. The only slight resistance that I put up is that you can at least start with the 70-30. That's all I've said in terms of percentages. If that is crazy, then I don't know what to say because it's not crazy to me. You get what I'm saying? It's not crazy to me, but
If you were in Shakur Stevenson's shoes right now and it was presented to you that 25% or leave it, and you know this is the only champion in the division, and your options after this is either fight somebody that this guy already beat,
I mean,
what would you do? Would you take
that's
that twenty five
now.
percent
Now
now? Because I don't understand. For some reason, I feel like people are going into this fight thinking this is Shakur's last fight. Like he's never going to be able to get anything after this fight. Y'all do understand that if he wins, he can be the one that's saying, "Hey, 25%, take it or leave it."
mhm.
That's our argument. It's
I
like,
mean,
bro,
look, I ain't got no argument. I'm gonna just say this because it's pretty much redundant to me. I've heard a lot. It's a lot of different arguments. I ain't really making no argument. I'm gonna just say this: if 70-30 is crazy, then we ain't never getting this fight. Not no time soon. So it is what it is. But I see all the videos, and I'm
yeah,
just
but
like, y'all not.
I get it.
I'm not.
I get
I
it,
acknowledge
SJ.
25%, but people like, nah, he can't get nothing more than that because he wasn't in his plans. He ain't staying there and taking a risk. And I'm like, bro, he said the only two fighters he was staying there for them. He said this out his mouth. So I'm just like, whatever. He say
He
everything. He
did.
say
Now
he's
you're
staying
right.
for. Now he fighting Tank
He
Davis.
did say that,
Now he
and
fighting Tank Davis.
he offered one of the guys.
Now he's fighting Tank Davis next. That's what
He
they tell him.
offered the guy, and then somebody asked me. They said, "Art man, what would you say if Javante Davis offered Devin Haney 30% or 25%?" I say take that shit. And I feel like Devin Haney definitely would take it because it's already been proven that he would take a deal like that to show people that he is who he say he is, which
But
is
again,
great.
I just want to be clear. When we say he took a deal like that, he didn't take 25%. Did he take less
25,
than what
30.
he
Just
usually
know
gets paid? He
it
took
was
less
under
than he got paid.
50%.
He took a, I guess, a pay cut in a sense, right? But he didn't
Yeah.
take 25%. And I'm just, that might sound like nothing to you, but 30 is bigger than 25 to me. And I'm just saying,
It definitely is. It definitely is.
just follow me, right?
Yeah.
The worst situation that Haney has been in was what Cambosis put him through. He said him and then the fans, and I'm a supporter of his too. I don't like calling myself a fan of nobody. I feel like fans switch first time you lose your fight. Like I'll rock with you and lose or draw. But his fans said it was a slave deal. He was coming out. He didn't like it. Why would you offer less than that? I'm just being reasonable. In your worst deal, give him that. And I wouldn't be up here making nothing. I'd be like, yo, my feelings would be, hey man, he took that. But this whole argument that he took 20, he never took 25, but give him that 30 and say, yo, well, he did it. I'll be right on.
But the
Cool.
thing is,
Gotta
brother
take it,
man,
bro. Gotta take it.
he would be making more than he did in his last three fights by taking this 25%. In reality, it didn't
We
even
gotta
have to be presented to
we gotta
him. Like,
we gotta
and
know how much you got paid though to know that. And you gotta know how much this fight is actually gonna sell
I'm
and
just
things
saying,
like
if
that.
he's having a
I think it's a huge
conversation with,
assumption. It's
and
a
notice
huge
that he's not
assumption.
having is when they're having these meetings, Shakur Stevenson is not in the meeting. It's always Bill Haney and Top Rank.
Right, right. But we don't know how much Shakur is making
Now,
to say that.
before you get out of here or you got to take
Right,
off
right. Nah,
somewhere.
you good. Nah, I'm chopping
Uh,
it up. Good.
I
It's
want to
all
ask you. So you remember that conversation where we had about clout chasing, and you
right,
feel
right.
like it was kind of wrong that we named that on Shakur Stevenson.
Yeah, you don't need clout
Now,
when
now,
they've been knowing you since
now, I have to bring
original.
it up. I have to bring it up. When they was doing that bottle, sending the bottles with the whatever, right? What is that contract that Shakur Stevenson was talking about?
I don't know. I mean, shit, you had maybe it's that one, but I think that was just what it was. Again, I don't know what this protection is. Everything somebody do to Devin Haney, people put a magnifying glass to it and make it seem like it's wrong.
No,
Like he was
you know
wrong
what I'm
for getting in the ring,
saying?
right? Look, he was wrong for getting in the ring. He wrong for saying who he thought who he thought won. He was a coon. Like, look what kind of jackets people are putting on this man in effort to protect Devin Haney.
No,
Jumping in the
I
ring,
ain't saying that. But
jumping
back
in the
back to
ring
the
was what
bottle
he did
serving
to
his name.
Lomachenko. It was cool when he did it with
bottle
Loma and
service thing
Ryan.
though. Back
Yeah,
to the bottle service thing though, brother. I have to call it clout chasing because if you knew there was no contract that you're sending Devin Haney, why would you do something like that and say, "Oh, sign the contract"? That
again,
comes across as
what
clout chasing, my
what
guy.
would it do for him?
What?
What do he have to stand to gain? Like what kind of clout could he gain from doing that? It could only make you
Oh,
look bad. I
the
said this
clout
before.
of
It would be a
Devin
bad
Haney's
clout chase.
scared because I've seen it. Oh, Devin Haney's scared.
People
Look
just
at Shakur pressing. He pressing him.
everything he do is wrong. If he
Nah.
say after his fight that he'll fight him, he's wrong for that.
You know
If
would have
he,
been right.
if he say Devin Haney will smoke Loma,
Would have been right was making weight and forcing your mandatory on Devin Haney. But then again, he still would have turned around making 20-30% if he did that.
I'm gonna say this: when two people want to fight, we gonna know it. And the reason why I know this fight ain't gonna happen for the same reason I knew the Errol Spence fight wasn't gonna happen. When we was hearing about percentages and splits, what happened? When that fight actually got time to get made, it got quiet. So at the end of the day, I call posturing on both. I call posturing on Shakur for not simply taking whatever he gave you, saying that you wanted it, and you left that crack in the back door. You left it by not just taking whatever he gave you. You left that. But I can also look at it on the other side and say you gave him the absolute least that you wanted to give him, like 75-25, and you told him basically take it or leave it. I can also call posturing on that side. I just don't think at the end of the day the business of boxing is going to work out for this fight to be made. Not at 135. That's what I think.
Exactly, as of right now,
They can have that.
you can
They
keep it
can have it.
100 that the battle was run by Devin Haney at this moment.
We gonna see when they get in the ring. For me, all that duck talk, I'm not interested in that. I see people jumped all over this contract talks because before this it was like dead silence. And again, when you jump in the ring with somebody and everybody attack that man and start calling them coons, like that's a wild jacket to put on a young fighter trying to come up doing with the
I
fighter
ain't
that
do that.
people are
I ain't
protecting.
never you ain't never heard me call Shakur Stevenson
Combs
a coon.
Stevenson for saying, I heard that he was supposed to say that he thought Devin Haney won, even if he thought he lost. I just can't, you can't make this stuff up. They're fighters, they supposed to do that. I
But
thought the
in the sense though,
I think the
you do gotta look at that and be like, damn, if you thought that this nigga won, why are you looking at Devin? You should be looking at Lomachenko then, right?
yeah.
So hold on a second. It gets Shakur media attention. Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing, bro.
Well
Like
shit, not really
it's not
because
like everybody's just picking
he,
on
he still
Shakur.
got the belt, so he still
It's
called for the man with the belt.
but it's not like everybody's just picking on Shakur. Like, oh man, we just hate this
No,
young
it's
brother.
not
Nah,
picking, but
it's like the
I see
dude.
the narrative though.
He's what
I
he is
see it.
saying and what he is doing is causing this type of drama and backlash towards his career.
I say this. It's I see it both ways. I think people over exaggerating when it comes to this. Like I think you're not allowed to do nothing when it comes to Devin Haney. And that's what I see. You can't call him out. You can't say you thought he lost the fight. Nothing. It's just like people make arguments for him that you don't need to make for him. Because the man can fight. So it's like, I don't get it, but I
The
know
thing
when I
is with
see
Devin,
fans.
it's like folks are so used to seeing hate that they combat that motherfucker to the hardest they can. And
It,
I'm not
it,
one of those people who's gonna call Shakur Stevenson a coon or anything like that. But
I
I am
agree.
going. But one thing I will hold on him. I ain't gonna lie. He's using that man Devin Haney for some clout, and
And again,
folks seen this through Top Rank. So it's like,
What what clout do Devin Haney have that he like you got people still saying, and I'm talking about clout. I'm not talking about accomplishment. I know what he did. I respect it. But I feel like that's not a guy to clout chase. Like Tank Davis, like again, it would do nothing. I think clout chasing Tank Davis would you could make an argument there. I think this whole notion because he's not doing what people think he should do at home is clout chasing. I don't know. You get what I'm saying? Like I get it. Should take what he offered you, right? No argument there. Because you would leave no doubt, right? You would essentially call his bluff, right? So I get that, but it's still more complex than trying to say somebody is a duck if you're not willing to
but
make like you do any
at
other
this
fight.
point, that whole everybody's scared of me. I'm the boogeyman talk. That shit has to end today.
But who's saying that though? Like I don't know who's saying that. Not me. I'm a
Yeah,
real
not you. You're not
supporter.
saying that, but
Ev-
but
yo,
you haven't heard
he,
folks say that
he
Shakur
has been
Stevenson.
ducked,
No, people are ducking Shakur Stevenson
but
and
they
being
have
scared of
ducked.
him.
They have. You got Zepeda, Pitbull Cruz, and Cambosa said no as well. Everybody's not ducking them. See, I'm a realist. I don't just throw out narratives and rhetoric. I put it in perspective. I know the fighters by name that said no to him, but
Yeah, you can say these specific fighters don't want to fight him, but when you start saying he the boogeyman, nobody want to fight him. It's like we got to call cap on that because it's not
but,
even just Devin Haney. There's
but
two
again,
other fighters that's out
but
there
it,
that want it.
but again, who I don't know where these people are at because I don't look at it like that. I don't look at it as he no boogeyman. I hear Devin Haney's the boogeyman. They said T.O. ducked him, said Loma ducked him, even though they fought. They said Gary Russell ducked him. They said Tanker never fight him. They say now Shakur's ducking him. Like, don't nobody duck more. Don't nobody duck more. You know, no more fighters don't duck nobody more than they duck Devin Haney.
Because people have a track record. They have a track record of doing it. Like Lomachenko, the franchise belt. We know how that came about. Who else?
But you know why I can't buy that?
To
Because he took it. Then he take a unification. Don't unifications trump mandatories? People threw that out the window. They made it seem like Loma went and fought a less than. You get what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, he went and made a bigger fight at the time, and they still said he ducked him. And I'm like, yo, that right there, I can't buy that. He didn't
I
duck
can
him just to
most
turn
definitely
around and fight him.
because you nah. It wasn't at that point. It was no longer a unification because you relinquished your title. So it's not a unification anymore.
Well, what T.O. So T.O. You telling me T.O. and Lomachenko wasn't looked at as a unification fight, and he went to fight a unification over what they was trying to say Dev was being his mandatory?
Yeah, it
Because
was for
that's what it was
it
looked
was
at
for both belts, but
as
it
a
was for
unification.
that fight was not a undis. If Lomachenko
Wasn't
would
an
have fought Devin
undisputed
Haney,
unification, not
yeah,
undisputed.
if Lomachenko would have fought Devin Haney prior to Lopez, it would have been for undisputed. But it's not. That was no matter what we say, we look at the history
That
books.
would have been for
It's not saying that Lomachenko versus Cambosa,
Haney.
Lomachenko versus Teal was a undisputed match. It wasn't.
No, I'm not. I say
Oh,
unification. Devin and T.O. or
bro.
Devin and no, it was Loma. Devin and Loma would have been a undisputed fight, I believe. Didn't he have the belts and he lost them to T.O.?
Oh, I'm a little confused here on what was going now with that. My dude Jamal Robinson, he said he ducked him because he gave up his belt. Whether you buy it that or not, that's what happened. Yeah, it wasn't a undisputed match, and that's why folks be looking at To crazy when he said he 2-time undisputed. It's like, man, what?
Yeah, yeah. I want to be clear. Not undisputed. Unification. Unification. T.O. and Loma was a unification fight, not an undisputed. Because Dev had the last piece to the puzzle. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? That's what made you get what I'm saying. That's
yeah,
what that
yeah,
was.
yeah, yeah. That's true. That's true.
You can't say he
It was
ducked
a
somebody if he
unification,
went
but it
to make
wasn't for
a
undisputed.
unification. You get what I'm saying? That's what. And again, the duck word get used like
But
way too
it
much.
was a duck because my guy he handed his belt over to Devin Haney. A lot of people like to reword it, but the way I word it, it was you forfeited your belt. Because if I have a belt, and
I don't
next
know
thing you know,
why
a nigga
every
say he got my belt and I ain't fight him for it, that means I gave it up.
I don't know why everybody look at everything that's said as like some type of hate. I really made videos shooting down false narratives when it come to Devin Haney. Like I don't get it. Like it gets no realer than that. It gets no realer than bigging up his fight for a
But
whole week.
I usually
Buying it.
separate the hate when they start calling Devin Haney
People are
like
weird,
when they
bro.
call him pillow fisted and shit like
That's
that.
the
And
narrative I
Chinny,
shot down. Pillow fisted and Chinny. You know what I'm saying? Two of them, as a matter of fact. So it's never no hate. It's sad that I got to do a disclaimer every time you doing a Haney video because everything you say is gonna be hate. If I don't see it 100% how you see it, you're hating on him, man. What I look like? Hating on a young, successful, undefeated, undisputed 24-year-old young man. That shit is weird. I enjoy boxing far too much. That's why I came up here to have this conversation because I try to take the stress out of it by not arguing with somebody. That's not how you
yeah,
talk
and I love it because I ain't out
about
here
it.
saying, "Oh, this guy's a B, he
Right.
ducking, smoking, all that shit."
I,
I'm just
I'm
calling it
past that
how
narrative.
I see it, and if anybody wants to refute it, That's on them.
I just think right now it's cool. The low hanging fruit, the easy thing to say is somebody ducking, but you're
But
not even gonna be real. The
my
whole
thing
team
is right now,
accountable to that.
right now, no matter
Not
how we,
accepting 25%
no matter how we try to
is
slice
not
it,
ducking.
the truth is this: Shakur Stevenson declined a fight with Devin Haney. If you want to call him a duck, you can call him a duck. If you say he's a smart businessman, you can call him a smart
Nah,
businessman. At the end of the day,
man, who this?
there was an opportunity presented to Shakur
I,
Stevenson, and he
I say
declined it.
this is turning down 25%. The initial offer the same as turning down the fight.
The initial offer, I wouldn't
Yeah,
say,
is
I wouldn't.
turning down
Look,
25. Is
my
it
thing is
turning
that
down the fight or is it
we
turning down
still
the
got to
initial
see how
offer?
we still got to see how it goes. But for right now,
But
as
you
of now, he
but
declined that
you
offer.
don't, yeah, and you could run with that, but you see how people are saying duck and they're not even allowing the business to take shape because they're willing to abandon all business logic in this situation so they could push a narrative that somebody else on the list is ducking them. Do you see? When you get real fighters in boxing, and that's the only thing I'll be willing to argue. When you get a real fighter in boxing, you don't appreciate him like that. Yeah, he still got to prove himself, but what did he prove since he been here? He's been a top fighter at 26, top fighter at 30. And what is he trying to do at 35? The same difference. You know what I'm saying? The same exact thing. So it's like, I just don't, I just don't know where people get off. I don't know how they process this situation right here. He's supposed to want to fight him. Like, but the fact that they
But
make it
one
and
fighter,
he's
the
jealous,
thing is, it's like it's hard in this situation to say, well, yeah, I get it. He deserves this and that because it's like, damn, my nigga, the guy that you trying to fight, we done seen him get down and dug dirty and ugly and take this low percentage to fight a guy for all the belts. Why is it so hard for you to do? It's just a one off. It's not a lifetime thing. Like you're gonna be taking 25%, and then when you become champion, he gonna get 10% of your future earnings. It ain't no Joe Lewis type of deal. It's a straight one off. Like nigga, take this 20. You beat me. That's
right,
that.
right. But that's why I say,
That's the main argument
you
right there.
it's for me, it's no argument. When you say that, I say to you directly, I get it. I get that. Because it's nothing to argue. You shouldn't argue that. You get what I'm saying? You shouldn't argue that. That leaves the crack, so there's no need to argue it. Be like, yeah, I get you. But then after that point, that's why I said I'm very logical. You move on. What's the next order of business, right? You allow them to see if it's going to be some type of counter offer or is it going to be some type of negotiations. But I don't think people care about that. I think they care more about the duck narrative than what's actually going to transpire. I think the business goes out the window with this. It's either you
It,
ain't take this, you don't, he had to take it, then you should take it. And I'm just like,
but what makes it
it's,
worse?
I don't just, the level
It's
of
not like
talent is
Devin
different,
Haney
bro.
is the one that's fully in charge of that. This is something that Top Rank is speaking on too. You know that Devin Haney and Team Father, they're the one that had to come to Top Rank presenting, hey, we want an additional fight with Shakur Stevenson.
Mhm.
And from what I was told or what I heard is basically that Bob Arum is like he doesn't really see much value in that fight right now.
Yeah. That's why I say it's deeper than just somebody being a duck because all the information ain't lining up. Like if you it don't matter what offer is being sent, if you got somebody behind the scenes talking out of both sides. On one end, he said he'll make that fight, and on the other end, he's saying he won't make the fight. You get what I'm saying? So it's stupid. And I see what's happening, and I think the same shit that happened just on a lower scale with Earl and Bud. I think the same thing is happening. The business ain't worked out, and they know it because you got Bob Arum saying 1 minute that fight is not even on the table. Then the next minute in the interview, Shakur and Devin Haney is the fight I'm looking to make. Then the next thing is something different. So and what's happening is posturing on both sides. Dev flexing his A side on Shakur. Shakur ain't happy about it. He ain't willing to take pennies. Well, he feel like his pennies because he feel like he worth more than that, which I can understand. I can understand people saying take it or leave it too. But at the same time, I feel like that the biggest fights or the best fights take more than just a first offer. And I think that's logical to think that way. So I'm like, I would like to see what the next step is because round one, he said no to 25. That's round one right now. Round one, he said no to that. So if it go past this point, I would be surprised though. I don't think it will. And I think I don't know. Yeah, I'd be surprised to see him fight at 35 again too, though. I would. I would be surprised.
I doubt it. I feel like the next. I don't even. To be honest, now I don't even think Regis wants to fight with Devin Haney. Now,
I mean, shit, he gonna have to. If he come up there calling for the smoke, you gonna have to. He already put that in the universe, so people looking for that. They're gonna be looking to see you fight him. So you ain't got a choice almost. I mean, you got a choice. You always got one, but
but my thing is, what makes it worse is like Devin got options.
I
What
said
what
that
is Shakur? What is your options now?
to keep
Now you know what I'm
building.
saying. Let's say you don't take the 25. Cool. Stand on your business. Where do you go from here now? Because you know, no matter who he fights now, if it's not number one, two, or three, they gonna grill him.
Yeah, but
Unfortunately,
it's like I'm past it. I think fans just like even like this comment right here. You just want to fight bums on free TV. I just think that's by far one of the most inaccurate assessments you could have of his career. Like if you're really paying attention to who he fought, and for what it's worth, dude never even fought a guy with a losing record. For what it's worth, you get what I'm saying? He ain't have no dudes 5-28, and you get what I'm saying. I could name at least 4 or 5 quality wins on his resume. Are they
facts. And,
world beaters? That's another conversation. But our quality win is a quality win. I just think we too I don't know because again we don't acknowledge anything outside of the elite level. It seemed like because if you had to
facts.
name the fighters at the elite level at 135, you probably won't be able to go past a hand.
And here's my thing with Shakur. If I was in Shakur's team, or if I was in Jay Prince's corner or whatever, what I would be suggesting is, yeah, I actually would run with the clout chasing narrative and say, you know what, and say Devin Haney, he really didn't want to fight. That's why he lowballed us. I'll run with that and say, you know what? So we just gonna turn around and fight Lomachenko and show y'all how it's done, how a real
I
fighter
said that.
take
I
care of. You
said
know what
that
I'm
too.
saying? If
I
he
said
does,
that. I said that.
yeah, he moves like that.
I said that.
That's
I
gonna
said they should
really,
feed Loma
yeah,
to him because
that's really gonna drive it.
they moved Loma to the mandatory spot and moved Shakur out the way even after a loss to him. And no, that's having a totally different conversation. Me saying that there's no again, you got to stick to what I'm saying. I'm just telling you it's more quality on his resume. I could name him without looking for him. You get what I'm saying? Nobody's gonna tell me that he fought 20 nobodies and that's an accurate assessment. That's very inaccurate. That's like saying Haney fought 29 nobodies and the only one on his resume is Loma. Because it'll be people that try to push that, but I ain't one of them people. I know which wins on his resume was quality too. Are they
Yeah,
all
I'm
world
not the one.
beaters?
I'm not the one to say that
Are
because
equal to
if
his skill level? No, but he got some quality wins on his resume outside of Loma.
because that shit ain't easy. It's not easy. I can't right now. My grown ass. I can't get up
What?
and fight 30 dudes and say, yeah,
I
that
be
shit
seeing you
easy.
getting busy, hitting that bag, staying in shape.
Yeah,
Yeah,
training hard. Nigga, my knees hurt right now. Thinking
be
about that
seeing you
shit.
get busy. I'm like, that shit ain't easy to do. But again, I don't make no arguments. Like I come different. I like to have conversations. Like, cause I feel like lead an argument to everybody that don't know how to have a conversation. I don't have all the answers, and I feel like a fanboy would come up here and try to defend everything. It's none to defend. Like you could say, yeah, you should take it. I'm just saying, I think it's a conversation after that. You get what I'm saying? I don't think that's unreasonable. I ain't saying give him the shirt off your back and oh, he deserved. I'm not making no case for no fit, none of that shit. I'm just saying I think a conversation could take place after this. I don't think that's crazy. You get
And
what I'm
and
saying?
my only reply to that is, does it really have to take place though? If you think about it, like
I
I
mean,
feel
no,
like Devin Haney's actually throwing him a bone for even presenting it because even though he said I'm staying at 135 for this and that, his
mm-hmm,
body can be telling him a whole nother thing, man.
mm-hmm. But I said that. I said that though. I said this. This is the people that's gonna call him a duck if he don't stay at 35. I don't push those narratives. That shit is weak for boxing. It's the low hanging fruit. It's corny. I'm past it. We just did that. We did all that duck talk with Bud. I had people telling me that fight was never gonna happen because he's scared. And July 29th, we got to fight. So do that still
I knew Bud wasn't scared.
scared? Like
My thing with Bud was he's trying to make the most he can get because he understands that this is a career defining fight and it can go left It can.
right.
Any fighter can tell
Me
you
too,
that.
Nick. Me too,
You
Nick.
can't think that these fighters don't be a little bit nervous or don't think that they worry about certain things when they go
Nah,
into
that's
fights.
normal. Yeah, you human.
Because these niggas is not
Right,
superhuman, bro. They
right,
know they can get hurt. An accident
right.
can happen. You can fuck
Absolutely.
around and get cut, headbutt,
Facts. Yeah,
all
I've
types of
definitely
shit.
like I'm a real Shakur supporter. I ain't no fan. I gotta really make that clear. Like I want to see nothing but 50-50 fights for him. Like I hate I went to his last two fights. I've been there. So it's like I enjoy watching them whoop their asses the last two,
And
but
that's what I want to see. I
I
want to
want
see
to see
more of
50-50.
Shakur, but what grinds my gears with Shakur will grind my gears with Shakur is folks are putting him on a higher pedestal than the motherfucking champ, man. They saying this guy's that, and that's why the whole I can't I gave him the undisputed fantasy fight king talk
Yeah,
because
I
it's like
mean,
my guy, you saying he could do all this and that,
I
but here
say
we have the real champion
I say
who's
this.
put blood, sweat, and tears in the ring. You can't say this
I
guy is above him. I mean, you
Yeah,
could feel
I
that way.
mean, I never really have the conversation like that. And I feel like that's what I be trying to eliminate, like all the personal shit. Like this is just boxing, bro. That's why I say people too mad at these young dudes for doing what they're supposed to be doing. Now he might, and again, just tell me if I sound crazy. We're at home telling people what they should do and how they should do it. I really look at that as, and I acknowledge what people say, but I'm like, just think about it. Making what you say at home the end all be all in somebody else's career is crazy. If he don't do this exactly the way I say it, he's a duck because I said so. He's not doing it. It's like it's more than one ways to make a fight happen. Like you get what I'm saying? Like people act like that's the end of it all because nah, he didn't do it. Again, the Buzz situation. He might not have went about it the way we would have liked, but it still got done. How is he still a duck? It's like he fighting this man. People still gonna call him. He's a duck. He still ducked him initially. I'm like, man, he's fighting him. I just don't believe like you're fighting him. So it's like I'm past it. But I can't wait, like I said, to the business of boxing to really work itself out. Because one thing I truly believe, regardless of how this situation is playing out with Dev and Shakur, I think when it's truly time for this fight, I don't think this stuff will be going on respectfully. So it's cool entertainment to me, but I don't think this, when it's finally time for the fight, it, this won't be going on. I don't think it'll be a different approach. I don't think right now it's posturing and pissing contests and head flexing on them right now. I got what you
But
want
but
at a
but right
25
now
out.
we gotta salute. We gotta salute Dev. We gotta salute. He's the man at the position in this position right now.
I mean, look, he flexing on him right now, but it, I
He
think it.
do you
I,
agree? Do you agree though that he has a right to flex on him though? Because he went through the Lions Den,
I
as you
mean,
could say.
he can go about it how he want. Like you can't tell him how to move. Like you ain't got to agree with it, but he could do it. Yeah, he could do what he want. Do it. He doing it. Shit, do what you want. But I listen. At some point, they're gonna catch up to each other and they'll fight. That's how I look at that. So it's like this is cool now, but
And
then
that's the thing. I don't want nobody. I don't want none of these brothers to lose. Folks lead a conversation thinking that we saying, "Oh man,
yeah, yeah,
they wishing this motherfucker go down." I'm like,
nah,
nah, nigga. I want
nah.
Shakur to win
That's why I like
Shakur
talking to
because I
people.
don't want this. I don't want this. Devin Haney Shakur fight. Devin Haney win. Oh well, look at Shakur. Really, all he fought was Valdez and Robson. Like, let's be real. I don't got
They,
time for that shit.
yeah, they. I mean, I guess what you say in terms of early it being early, but look, you can't make no excuse no matter when they step in the ring on either side because I ain't. Yeah, I'm sorry. They who they are, and if whoever win, it's the same thing with Bud and EJ. But I feel like simply believe realistically, all things real, even before this point, before him getting to 35, I never thought they was fighting at 35 anyway.
Me
I
neither.
never,
Me neither. And
I
I
never did.
I try to tell people. I told my dude Dirk that comes on here. I'd be like, man, to
Hmm.
keep it 100 as a Devin Haney supporter.
Right.
I prefer the fight with Shakur Stevenson at 140, but I most specifically prefer it at 147. And the reason why I say that is because I don't want no excuses from neither of them saying that it's hard to make the weight or the weight's a problem or I feel
So you,
fatigued.
you think like me too?
I want to see them boys
You
fight at
think like me too?
their
I
best
said that.
potential, the
Right.
best. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
I
Close
don't
to
want to see
100%
Devin
as
Haney
possible.
fight again at 35 if he's going to be drained. And people know I said that unanimously because I'm not a selfish fan. So I was only speaking to those that was like, yo, Shakur just want to fight him because he know he drained. I'm like, I would rather see the fight at a different time because that's already something people going to say. And I'm like, I don't want to see the man be less than what he feel like is 100% for him fighting nobody. That's somebody that
Because
want to
even
see
if
him
Devin
lose.
don't say it, we all see it, bro. We all see it. That man, look how he looks like a week after the fucking fight. That nigga ballooned up all the way up to like
Right.
160.
Right.
So yeah, man. But shit, I gotta get up out of here. I'm about to go get some breakfast with the old
You
lady.
already know, bro.
But
Good
yeah,
chopping
we
it up
we gonna
with
chop it
you.
up. Boots versus Villa.
Yeah, we got a good fight week going on.
Hell yeah,
Yeah.
man. Shout out to everybody. Shop at artmanapparel.com. It's been a
Salute to
busy
Art,
fucking
man.
month for me, man. I gotta send all these shirts out before the fucking fight. So I'm working hard as shit right now. All right, man.
Salute to you, Brody.
Yep.